Yeah.
Vainglorious Vanguard.
Knowledge born.
Yeah.
United front. What you want?
To the Knowledge Radio.
We in here. What you got? Dot.
Work hard as a slave to one day be your savior. The wave unwavering. This is a labor of love. Rise with a purpose every day. Invigorated. If we were on TV, we'd be 10 times syndicated. If we waited for validation, a paycheck or accolades, we'd be starved, already lost or ran away. But when you're square, solid, and you circle too, you don't need a place for silence. The concept is conquered through media, not areas of people activity. A mix that don't lose ethnicity, tightness that don't lose elasticity. Explicitly, this isn't where we give the novice regard. Nah, this is where knowledge is born. Last time that I checked, I'm undefeated. Deliver edicts, can't resist when the gods build and manifest freedom. When lines get crossed, they may push a loss, cause they get handed a check. We kick your can and cancel your cancerous gestures. A prophet vision, precision, the prescription for the sickness is to inoculate your fate with the winning. Arrogant beginnings turn to humble endings. And US with KBA is a win-win. 1K.
Peace and Black Power, friend. Welcome to another episode of Knowledge Radio, place when Knowledge is born. This is your host, knowledgebornallah. We got legacy here. We got legacy. We got long-standing history. We got connections, and we got things that are affected by those connections, and people that are connected, families that are connected by this legacy, by one who thought enough about us, even at the behest of his own life and his family livelihood, to come to us, to present us with information that we're just really peeling back the layers from and really have a proper understanding before we could get to an understanding and understanding of it. You see what I'm saying? So from then to now, we have the legacy, we have the gift, we have the prize, we have the intention. And the beautiful thing about the intention is we have the dream actualized. If we remember what happens to a dream deferred, we're looking at the dream and the legacy of Robert C. Coakley Sr., peace and blessing be upon him, actualized in his son. You see what I'm saying? In his son, in his family. You see what I'm saying? With the family. So when we were honoring Robert Steve, I reached out to my bro. You know what I'm saying? This is my bro. You know what I'm saying? In real life. You see what I'm saying? That's my bro in real life. You see what I'm saying? I reached out to him, and he be moving over there. He be moving. You see what I'm saying? He moving over there on the west side, making things happen, making things shake. You see what I'm saying? So, I begged and pleaded with him to give us a few minutes today. You see what I'm saying? To update us on what's going on over there. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a bricklayer, brick builder, and legacy cementer right there. You see what I'm saying? So from the Black think tank days of his father, we remember those. You see what I'm saying? So we formed them in a small setting to now a global setting. You see what I'm saying? With a cultural mainstay that's in place on the west side. You see what I'm saying? So, a mini job. Man got 25 jobs. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm glad he's here with us. You see what I'm saying? Because my honor and privilege at this time, introduce some, present to others, and welcome back to the platform, his home, Do the Knowledge Radio, the Black Think Tank Mastermind, the Morning Moringa Mastermind. Every day he hustling. You understand what I'm saying? Making things happen, man. Steve Coakley, you in the building, man. Welcome back, brother.
Yes.
Man, I'm grateful to be in the building, grateful to be on your platform again. Man, it's been a little while, but we own it, man. I'm every day I do what I love to do, so I don't even look at it as hustling. I don't even look at it as grinding. Actually, I'm trying to take the element out of that. So we'll talk about it a little later, but every day I'm passionate about what I do, and I do what I love to do. So it's natural. It's like flow like water, I flow like the water. So it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get into it though. But man, again, I'm grateful. I see the people on the platform. I'm honored, man. I'm always feel like, really it's always when people tell you, it's like I'm always feeling I got a lot of work to do, and so I'm always, the shit's so much in front of me that it's like I just take it as it is, and it's brick by brick, but I got a lot of work to do, and so I'm just grateful to be, man. So whatever I can report to y'all, we're gonna do it, man. Do it.
Yes,
Metaphorically and physically. He's not just saying brick by brick because it sounds fly. You understand? Literally brick by brick. You see what I'm saying? So, son, the great man, I'm gonna pass it to you and pass it to Che. You see what I'm saying? Talk to our brother. You understand what I'm saying? And start, because looking at him, you see his father. You understand what I'm saying? I know we get a little misty eyed every time we see him, no matter what. You understand what I'm saying? So just give him a little reminder, and what I'm saying, do what you need to do. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Much respect to you, God. First of all, much respect to your legacy, your family line. Literally, you come from a lineage that saved my intellect, saved my life, saved my thought pattern. You mean open me up to what I need to be paying attention to, not just being awake and not just being conscious. You know what I mean? The job of the conscious is to make sure that the unconscious is conscious, but the application and those who needed to be held responsible in my mind, so that I could really, apply what it is to my youth and to the people that I know, and disseminate that information off to everybody else. So you come from a superhero clan, is what I'd like to say. You know what I'm saying? Supreme Heru, that aspect. So much respect to you, and I see you, like you said, every dawn. You know what I'm saying? Getting it on with the Moringa, healing the mind. You know what I'm saying? Opening up what needs to be done. This is very important. You just took what your family was doing and your father was doing here with the information, and then put it into an applicable situation for the mind, for the body, you know what I mean, and moving that. My first question is, because I like to just push this, expel this situation that people say Africans don't want Black people in Africa. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And my answer always is Ghana. You know, my name's Sunjata Mansa Musa. You know what I'm saying? From birth. That's who I is. So I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Every time I talk to Africans, they love me. I love them. So I have no idea what these people are talking about. So I, as a person who is there doing what you're doing, how, I already know the answer, but for those who don't, how real is the hate of quote unquote Black people in America, Africans in America? How much is, what's the love, what's the hate ratio? What in your opinion?
And that's a brilliant question, man, because it's people come with the wrong perspectives when they come, and you hear all these things on YouTube, right? So I'm gonna get to that in 1 second, because I want to address how you came right quick. So for the people that maybe first time hearing me, or you may play this again, it's like what you said in the beginning in terms of how you talk about how my dad affected you is based on when you talk about me coming here is I always wanted to make sure I did it in my way. I never want people, I never want to cheat the process. I never tried to copy my dad. I have his intellectual property, so I sell his lectures, but I'm always real careful on trying not to just fake it and be him. I always want to make sure in my lane, it's still the same thing, because it's not just my dad, it's my mom. You know, my mom was a Panther movie at 16. She was the one going back and forth to West Africa. We had African stuff in the house that was from my mom's side. So it was like that balance of both. My dad dealing with the political side and my mom dealing with the Pan-African side, it kind of created me. And so it was like taking it to that next step, but within my process. So I always want to be clear with that. And I'm cool. And I'm grateful for that, man. That's kind of how you say the impact he had on you is what scares me, because I always wanted to have that impact on people, but in my way, not just taking a name and trying to run with the shit or make money off it or try to be popular with it, but I actually do the work and do it. And then when people feel it, they feel my energy when they come to Africa, not just, oh, he's Steve Cokie Jr., but they feel my energy and know I'm passionate about what I do. I say what I'm gonna do and I deliver. And so that's very important with me, with humbly saying I got a lot more work to do. And so going into your question, man, it's very important, man. A lot of people, man, come to Africa. First off, Africans love us, man. Like Africans love us. Ghanaians love us, man. They love us, bro. You talk about different perspectives. Now, Africans who go to America, they come from well-off families more than likely. And, you know, like we always hear the story, they're told not to mess with us when they get there. So that's the disconnect there. But the people on the ground, man, it's been nothing but love, man. I get love in every region of Ghana. I work with Ghanaians every day. It's nothing but love, but you got to realize when we was colonized physically and mentally, they was colonized mentally still. So people left still colonized mentally. They got the Queen's education. The top universities in Ghana still go off the Queen Elizabeth education. And so they're still learning from us. So we have to be humble. Sometimes we come with our arrogance and say, oh, y'all don't even know your own history. But it's a learning two-way street because they do speak 4 languages by the age of 6, 7 years old. Still have their native tongue. So if we humbly come both ways and say, okay, I have some info you don't know, and you have some info I don't know, let's work together and figure this out together. You know, I know how to do product development. I know the value of your natural resources. You know the value of my culture. You speak a tongue that I need to speak that the white man can't speak. And so we need to learn that in that prospect of it. But, you know, people move to Ghana, man. It's very weirdo shit. And I'm going to say it because we on this platform. So I'm going to give it to y'all raw. Y'all don't get the YouTube. YouTube is like Dancing with the Stars type thing for people who on their last stretch in Ghana, like trying to survive, you know. First off, 80% of the diasporans, Black Americans who live in Ghana are retired. So they're retired. Some of them are Pan-Africanists, but some just come for alternative living. Some come for, you know, to look for a wife or look for a husband. Shit, 75% of all that moved to Ghana came to because they got engaged on a tour. You know, I'm gonna be raw with y'all. Like, we can have all the conversation in the world, but so we gotta look at the perspectives of who we listening to on YouTube and what they're talking about. And so sometimes, like when I came to Ghana, I'm a Pan-Africanist. I'm driven. So my purpose, I'm deep in it. And so when I'm doing what I'm working on, something that's flawed ain't gonna hurt me. See, a lot of people, so when it's something wrong goes bad, they hop back on the airplane, they go on and do a year-long plan on dissing Ghana. And I'm talking about Ghana now because that's where I'm at. But I'm in my purpose. I'm passionate about what I do, and I'm in it to empower not just Ghana, but Black people all over the world. Ghana is the center of the world. So my perspective is so different and unique. I don't want to push it on everybody else, but I tell Pan-Africanists that's in America, Black Americans who love our people all over the world, don't listen to YouTube, man. Like that's just not what it is, man. They it's like alternative living. They come over here, man. They so weird off, and they married, man. It's so much weird shit going on, bro. And my success rate for people that's not retired is 14%. 13 to 14% is the success rate for people that don't get Social Security, 401k, and pension. So that means the locker room for losing is big. And what do supporters do when they go in the locker room of a losing team? You know, you get the worst of it.
Right.
And
Sour grapes.
That's kind of that perspective. But I think they come in on the wrong reasons. And so we get more into that in the interview, but I just kind of want to that's a broad statement, but we can get more into it though, man. But no, Africans love us, bro. I swear they do, man. They copy our style. They love us. They love us. They love Jamaicans. We are we avatars. I look at us avatars, man. Black Americans are avatars.
Right.
Bro. We're more respected. We're just not represented on the world stage in terms of politics and empowerment and trading with other countries. We the least represented. We don't trade with other countries as a Black American unit, but we the most loved, bro. We are the most loved, bro. No doubt nobody can say they come to Ghana and not get love as a Black American. That's just wrong. They love our culture. They love us. They love everything about us, man. For real.
Word.
Can I go 1 minute? One last little thing right quick.
Yeah. Then I'm gonna keep the check.
Question going through because I deal with politics as well. Now the government is scared of us because, you know, we come from a place where we dealt with the most irritated, worst white man almost in history, the United States of America white man. And so if we willing to agitate them, stand up against them, not be scared of them, they be scared of us because when we come here, we may hold them accountable. They do a lot of, they get those World Bank, IMF loans, and they steal that shit off the top. There's no federal government here. Like, there's nobody to go and arrest an MP or a president. Like they can just steal all the money they want, and they do that. And so when we come, they're so insecure, not just even the politics and the money, even they women or just stuff like in general, it'd be crazy. And so the upper lands, that's what I meant by their kids not messing with us when they go to America. That's their kids who go to America and go to university and go to school and get their doctorate and join the Greek fraternities and that stuff. And so that's who you're dealing with there, but that's the few. Africa is huge. 60% of Africa is under 15 years old. So, and they love our culture. So I just wanted to kind of put that in some type of perspective. That yes, we deal with a lot on the ground with the government, but they the few. But the people on the ground, we get love.
Appreciate that. Great perspective. Check
Yes, sir.
on you, bro.
What's up? Peace, brother Steve Coakley. I remember this line. I see you talking about being in Africa and bridging the gap, or not? You said you're making a bridge between Africa and the work in North America.
For sure.
Now, with that said, I remember this line from Ice Cube. You want to free Africa, I stare at you because we ain't got it too good in America. And I remember the sentiment being basically like, what is Africa doing for us?
Yes.
That's a big sentiment within the young Black conscious community right now. Could you speak to that?
No,
to
and
answer that if someone asked you that.
It's real and it's fair, but it's unfair until you come. You know, again, we the avatars. We got to control both ends of it. We got to be on both ends of it. And so I don't never, anybody follow me on social media, no, I never say, oh man, all Black Americans supposed to be in Africa, you know, any of that. But some of us got to come. Again, they're colonized mentally. It's a big disconnect. And so anybody saying in the Black community, they're right. But also they're not giving it a chance because somebody put them into consciousness. And so somebody needs to come over here and bring them into consciousness. And we don't have enough of that. So when people complain like, oh man, China taking over Africa, Russia is in Africa, but where's Black America at in Africa? We don't need everybody, but where we at though? Because I can go to the gold mine tomorrow. If we got a bag of money, I can take you anywhere in Ghana. Nobody will restrict us from going anywhere. We just don't show up. And so it's easy to say that from there, but you got to make the attempt. And we need more bodies on the ground. Not everybody, but we need more bodies on the ground. And it's a teaching. It's lessons in it, bro. They are colonized mentally, and I wouldn't disagree with that. But that's why I'm so careful to say all Black people need to be in Africa, and we the ones messing up. Africa is confused. But Africa every day is being presented from people all over the world but us. White people, Germans, everybody, French is here. We not here. So they only know what they see. They don't see us in terms of in real time. They only see us on TV, shooting basketball, dancing, singing. They love us. They love our culture, but they don't talk to us. Even when the celebrities come, you know, we get into an emotional state of like going to the slave dungeons, kissing the ground, putting on a dashiki and dancing, even becoming chief of development. But we don't take the investment serious. We don't take the empowering serious and actually building on the ground. And we're starting to slowly but surely, but we need more bodies on the ground. And so for the young activists, they're not wrong, but I don't agree with it 100% because they need to come and establish that. They have to do teaching on both ends. I remember you made a statement, like my dad would always say that. He said, people say, oh man, free South Africa. He said, man, shit, first free Baltimore, you know, but he too, though, that it mattered that we have to free Africa to free us. We need a base. Africa to me is the base. Even if you don't live here, it's the base. How many people are right now have businesses where they get their natural resources from Africa? It's a shame. They talk about poverty, but why you don't have no connection to somebody in Africa supplying you with natural resources on a weekly basis, a monthly basis? Why not? How can we complain about poverty, but you ain't got no base in Africa? It's again, it's a responsibility and accountability on both ends. But to me, we got it. We are the avatars. We see that, and I think we take it for granted how much we know. Like other people, y'all, the civil rights all stars and y'all people y'all got on all the Instagram stuff talking. They kind of know, they go back and forth and they know that they're smarter than people on the ground. James Smalls, when he come to Ghana, me and him talk. I love the brother. We family, and when he come, he like the smartest person in the room everywhere he go. in terms of the culture. So we appreciate over there, but realize when he come to Africa, he's still the smartest man in the room, you know. And so it's a lot of teaching to be done on this end. Just like you gotta treat it like the hood. This hood in Chicago, 71st Street. You know, nobody didn't know anything until they walked into my mom's house, you know. And so it was like we gotta treat Africa the same way, but it's more, to me, the ceiling is higher. Will I try to run an alderman or a mayor in Baltimore or Chicago or New York or LA, or will I rather come and build a base in Africa? And we got the president, the MPs, we got United Nations, we got representatives all over the world with a base in Africa. The ceiling is much higher in Africa, but we need more bodies thinking like that. And so that's what a black think tank is. Think is to put the perspective in play with the action behind it. You know, I don't ever want anybody ever call me out and say I'm just talking. Like, I do this in real time, in real life, and I want to show the process because I'm not rich. It just take a couple $100 a week. You know, these buildings are built on moringa powder, man. Like, I supply people. People make businesses out of this because they have a source on the ground, a guy from Chicago who had an idea. You know, and that's all it takes, man. But it takes guts for us. We the pioneers. We don't have enough guts anymore. Like, I think it'd be people that can read the walls of Kemet, but can't find their way out of a paper bag. And so be real disappointed in the lack of guts of our generation. We need guts, bro. Guts is not just the knowledge. And Sadiq, you know this. I love my brother. It's the knowledge with the application, man. Without the application, what the fuck is the knowledge, man?
Right.
Like, and to me, we got to apply. I'm never the smartest person. I don't want to be the smartest person in the room, but I'm gonna do every day and try to do that and supply a venue for the smart people to come to, and we can figure this out. You know, and so I think we just need to do more. And that's why I call things brick by brick operation, because I want to simplify that process. We get so overwhelmed with something like, oh, I could have easily just waited till it was done and say, oh, look what I've done. Clap for me. No, I showed it by bricks, showing I put $800 in, $600 in, and it took me 1 year and 8 months. Now I have no rent, no mortgage, no lease. I got solar panels. I got a borehole. I got my own water. I have no bills. You know, I want to show that, to show some type of way of freedom, and we own the culture. I own everything I do. I own every business I do. My alcohol, I own it. From the bottle, from the bush to the fucking packaging. I own everything. No investors, no loans. You know, and so I started a GoFundMe, which I had it at 5,000, do 5% of what I've done, because people ask me because they want to donate while watching the process. But I want to show that, to show my people that we can simplify the process and own the game. I didn't talk to actresses, actors. I talked to people that own radio stations. I say, man, for $10,000, I can give you a plot of land with me, Steve Coakley. I would give you a plot of land with $10,000. You could build your own radio station right there in Ghana, and you could talk to the whole world because the world is digital. Why not own your radio station? Sell your ass, and now you own it from the ground up with no investors, no loans, no mortgages. But we got people on Facebook holding a big ass key with a 30-year mortgage they owe Wells Fargo, and we call that winning. I'm trying to change the game on the conversation, bro, and it's through the work. And so it's just that perspective of my generation having more guts to make the move, and not just to Africa, but to make the move towards freedom, to let go and take that risk. And it's going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be okay. So go ahead, man. I'm sorry. Sometimes I can go on and on.
Nah, Bill, that's
you hear him drop all that, then try to ease his way out. Nah,
exactly.
Yeah, for that.
Ooh, Bob Sadiq, I know you had something. You understand?
Oh man, nothing but love for all of y'all, brother Steve. Like I always tell you, man, I'm proud of you. I know your father definitely. You know, if he was in the physical, would be proud of you just to see you repatriate and do what you're doing. And it's interesting what you're talking about, because my wife and I had a conversation about the importance of you showing people the process as it was unveiling itself. That was really important, because again, it's one thing to say it. It's another thing to have the knowledge, but it's another thing to apply it. Once you are applying it and you can show yourself to be approved, that's what we need. Now we see wisdom. Wisdom comes out of the application. When you're going through that process, now you begin to master things. You see what I'm saying? So now that he's done the process, guess what he can do now? He can show and teach others how to do the process with that same ability or even a greater ability, because not only as he went through the process, there were things that he learned through the process. There were things that he know from going through the process, things that he can do different as he moves on and continue to build and do the things that he's doing. So I think it's wonderful, brother. I have nothing but love for you, man. Keep doing the work. Keep showing the process, showing people what you're doing in real time on a daily basis. Because like you said, man, as far as the younger generation, it's about doing. It's about heart. It's about fearlessness. It's about overstanding. All you can do is do what you do, and you build. Whatever happened is gonna happen. You don't control that part. You're concerned with your part, and that's what we have to be focused on and discipline. And this brother is an example of that. And all I can say, brother, you know, from this end, it's always support whatever you need.
No, man, it's love, man. And it was important, man, because, you know, in the beginning, man, I took some slack for showing the process, you know, and not from a lot of people. I get way more love than hate, but like, I got some slack from showing that, because you know, sometimes the OGs just do it and then just, you know, but to me, this is different, man. We're in a different type of war. Correct. And for black people, that is saying, I say, you know, for our, and I'm talking about black people in America, it's like, it's the third quarter, and I'm referring this to basketball. It's like the third quarter, we down 14 points, you know, and I played ball in school, and it was like, yo, you got to tighten up D. You got to do everything it take now. You down 14 points third quarter. Come on, man. This is a different type. We can't do it. We can't take the template of a white man. My race is losing. So we got to get down from the nitty gritty and kind of show, we got to simplify this process and everything. And so even like you said, Siddiqui, it was like, I never told family members they should buy land in Africa. While I was showing that building process, 7 of my family members got land around me in Africa. Wow. They bought house around me just by showing the 1-minute videos. I didn't never tell nothing to buy land. I never sold land to them like, yo, you should come. And then it was just the videos. And it was like, wow, that's cool. You know, and it was like, you know, and when people come, they show a lot of love. And it's like, you want to be that guy. You want to be that cool guy that just show up with it. But I always feel like we cheat the game. We cheat the race by not showing the codes. We need to share the codes. You know, sometimes we want to look so powerful and cool, like it was that easy. That's like one of the 40 laws of power, is like, make it look easy. Don't show how much hard you work. But then this not though. This that other shit. You know, we got to try to empower a culture and inspire a culture. And, you know, they need to see that, man. You got to be humble enough just to show that shit in it and just let people see that, man, this shit, man, it took them a year and a half. That wasn't supposed to take that long. But, you know, I started my own business, and that's how I had to do it, you know, and it's simple, you know, and it's a couple $100 here, there, and there. And it ended up, those bricks add up, you know. And so I still got a lot of work to do. But, you know, it was important for me to show that process through the slack. I took a little bit, but, you know, all good too. You know, it's a lot of love. So it's all good, man.
Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna ask a quick question, then I'm gonna pass it back to Sunday Great. You understand what I'm saying? Because I know he ready. He ready, chopping at the bits over there. So
how you know, God?
Relationships are everything. Relationships are everything. So this is a process, and we're seeing small after effects of the journey. You see what I'm saying? So for those who've been around you for a minute, they understood, you know, how you started. So from how you started to now, how do we strengthen the core bonds and improve the relationships so we go beyond fanfare into actualization?
It's now the trading back and forth of intel. Y'all got intel on that end I need, man. You know, I got intel on this end y'all need. I got natural resources on this end. That's like, I'm the connect. You know, like Frank Lucas said, man, I'm all the way over, man, take me to the source. I'm in the source. You know, I can empower people. Give me a checklist of what people are looking for. Let me do that work on this end. You know, and that now empowers people to start their own businesses over there. And so the Black Think Tank is connecting people all over the world. I'm in the center of the world. Longitude and latitude equals 0 in Ghana. So the goal is to reach everybody equally. It's like I can reach the whole world. Let's do it. Like, let's empower the base, but also this is empowering people. So to me, first it starts like this conversation, these 5 boxes right here, the people that's listening later. And so it's like trading this stuff back and forth and getting an understanding, an overstanding, because it's a lot of miscommunication. And again, I don't like YouTube. I don't like the stuff that's being presented. It's not real. A lot of it's not real. And so I think it starts with just the intel, the information. Then it starts with, what do we need? What do people need to conquer their day? You know, when I'm over here, I'm always in a war with my time. I conquer my time. Like, how much time do I buy back in life? The last 2 or 3 years. And I have a thing now where I work about 5 hours a week. You know, I kind of say that I work 5 hours a week. I own my time. So I have time to think. I have time to strategize. I have time. And that's power and time. I went to Oakland in 2019 to study think tanks. I was in Oakland. I went to San Francisco. I went to Santa Clara. I was on Facebook campus, Instagram. I visited everywhere. Apple. I went to Stanford campus. And I noticed they was paying people $300,000, $400,000 a year to put them in a room and to fucking think. To fucking think. Like, straight out of college, $400,000. Don't worry about your bills. Don't worry about shit else. Just think. Think for the race. Think for our company. Empower our company. You sit in this room with free cappuccinos, free bean bags and bananas, and you go outside. The medical thing is right out there in the mobile home. You got the dental thing in the mobile home. You don't even have to leave the campus. We just want you to fucking think. And it's power in that. We always reactive. We always looking at the what happened next, the next shooting, and we're reacting to everything. But we're not sitting down thinking and empowering and strategizing on how we move the culture forward and empower them. Relieve people of their stresses. Like, you know, we need to start talking about how can we buy back our time. A lot of dope people spend too much time surviving in America. And so we want to kind of work on that to buy people time back so they have time to empower the culture. I understand it. I'm from Chicago. My rent was $1,600. It cost me $100 to park. Insurance $300, car note $400. It's like, when do you have time to fucking think? When do you have time to be dope? When do you have time to live your purpose? Many people can say they love it, but how much time do you get of Pan-Africanism? And so part of that is starting the Black think tank is freeing the people, freeing the mind. Like Bob Marley, freeing the mind from mental slavery, but also freeing the people from their time, getting their time back to be able to think and be dope. We need dope people to be dope. That's great people to be fucking great, but they need their time back. And so I want the think tank to be something to start off, even with collaborating people in the States, is getting people to be great again. In their lane, in their zone, not to be popular, not to be the most famous, not to sign autographs and shit and buy Bentleys as soon as you got your money. It's like, no, to empower the culture to be great in your purpose and be impactful on your moves. And so that's kind of what the think tank is on the ground here. And that's how I see it, for people not to just sustain and make money, but to be great and free themselves where they can do that. And so that's how I want to kind of start it with the collaboration in states where it makes sense for my people, because then I get their ear. It's easy to say, hey, man, put that gun down, start selling the drugs. But what do I put in their hand after that? You know what I'm saying? You got to replace that with something else. You just can't say, stop that. That's cool. But what you going to replace it with?
Right.
So I want to be able to help people replace that with something. But I got to tap into their zone and their purpose. I got to talk to their soul. I got to talk to their heart, but also be the example while I'm talking to them.
Right.
So they can believe me, hear it in my voice, hear it through my energy, and be like, no, this dude Coke, man, he's serious, man. But, you know, it's trying to free the people, bro. We need more dope people. I need some dope people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Completely 100% and 50 agree. You had touched base on something that I constantly tell my people and having a bill with, that if you wanted to free your Black self here in America, you got to starve out the colonizer. You got to starve out the colonizer mind by unifying Africa. I don't see how you can speak Black nationalism here or anywhere you're at without saying the unification and the taking back of the resources, so that the colonized people, you know what I'm saying, the colonizer who's affected the African mind first. That mind was affected before we was affected here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They affected it there first. They knew they had to conquer this particular part mentally and get them trained. How are we not pushing for the Pan-African situation? So to me, red, black, and green is that is the answer. You like people, you got to be bigger than red, black, and green. I'm like, there is nothing bigger than red, black, and green. What's bigger than the blood and that connects us? What's bigger than the melanin that's universal? What's bigger than the land that we own and the throne of Mother Africa? There's nothing bigger than that. So in that, how is your placement and what you do? And you kind of touched on it, you know what I'm saying? But for those who don't know, and we know, but how can we, if we can't get over there, like for me, for instance, they won't give me a passport, and I don't know why they're keeping me here. I mean, you should just get rid of me. Get me out of your sight. Get me out of your face. I'm gonna cause a problem on purpose. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't scared of your bullets. I ain't scared of your jail. I ain't scared of none of that. So you should just, exile me. Get me out. But how outside of just talking about something, can we do that? And you touch base on, listen, send me some money, I'll get you some land, But I just like you to touch base a little bit more into that because, like I said, when we, the war of attrition is a very important war. And when you surround the camp and make sure that their food, their water, their resources is shut down, you know what I'm saying? You weaken the other team while you're eating. So when they're weak enough, you go in there. How can we do that process? In your opinion?
Again, I think it's the collaboration, the back and forth, the communication is key. Because I think still, even the smartest people in the States don't have a clue what's going on the ground in Africa. And it's Africa who actually care. Like, I'm not even talking about Africans who don't care or who don't know. The Africans who don't care, who do care and do know, is still lacking so much community. They don't, it's funny. It's a lot of people, it's a lot of people in the States that don't know anybody in Africa. A lot of people in Africa don't know nobody in the States. Maybe one person that left Africa and went, and they of course, they the worst perspective ever to have, when getting there. But it's no communication. Number one, it's no communication. And you used the word unify Africa, man. That is a tough, man. It sounds good from a distance, right? Africa is huge, right? I know we put them little things. They put the United States in there and throw Russia in there and throw China over here. No, it's even bigger than that though. Like the maps don't do it no justice. Even with that, it don't do it no justice. It's huge. And Africa has been colonized mentally. So they don't want to unite. Everybody that wanted to unite Africa got killed. Mugabe.
Word.
All the motherfuckers that want to unite Africa, they was here. And they left them hanging. They still, what's crazy, what people don't understand, not only is it not a federal government in Africa, it's no strong army in Africa. They only Africa armies to help the United Nations do shit like in countries nobody want to go to. So they contract them out. So it's not militant. And so the groundwork is in terms of you talking about dealing with the resources and we have to be here. The communication has to open up. And I think we underestimate, like we watch Hidden Colors. We see the people come to Africa, they go to Egypt and, read the walls of Kemet, or the pyramids, and they do tours, but it's no real dialogue right now. And I'm dead serious between Ghanaian, not even Ghanaian, just presidents in Africa and people on the ground in the States.
Wow.
It's nobody, man. Like, I don't care what they say. It's hard even on the ground. I see it. But it's so much of a disconnect. It's no more communication. Like, I heard the story. I give y'all this quick story though. Like, in the 90s, I was hanging out with a guy. He's an elder, and he'll be at my grand opening next week. He was the guy that was with Khalid Muhammad when Khalid Muhammad went to get that money from Gaddafi. He never made it to Gaddafi. He had to get it from the border, and it was just him and him because this dude speaks 12 languages. This Nigerian brother that's in Ghana right now. And so it wasn't $5 million. It was $2 million. And he got the whole story. This brother, man, we hang out kicking. He like 70-some years old. And so that, to show an example, that was a connection from a president or a dictator in Africa and somebody in America. Don't mean I agree with Farrakhan or whatever, but it was a communication. Anybody communicating on that level when it comes to empowering us. We don't have no political connections. I don't know why. Like, it don't even exist no more. That Sierra Leone president invited like 60 mayors from the United States to come to Sierra Leone like about 10 years ago. And like 30 of them came. That was a communication open up. That never happened again, ever. That never happened again. Robert Mugabe, all these people was connected some type of way, and that's all gone now. We got a whole new crop of presidents that just don't communicate with Black Americans, even in Ghana. You know, we have like 4 people that can talk to the president right now. With all 4, but you know, that'd be another day for another conversation. But we need to open up the communication to our people. But that college story was, you know, he got the 2 million at the border, and he went through trouble. You know, he got to the Nigerian border. He cracked his head. They wouldn't let him through. They got the money tied up on their bodies. They got their clothes over it, and they ride motorcycles, and they ride motorbikes. They call it motorbikes. And you ride the back of a motorbike. They ride on motorbike. They get to the border. They don't want to let Khaled through. Khaled take the piece of glass off the ground, crack it over the side of his head, and said, "I'm on a God's mission." They said, "Man, this dude crazy," and they let him through. He get to Ghana. J.J. Rawlins was the dictator of Ghana at that time. He did the coup d'etat in Ghana. He the one took the plane and sent Khaled back to America with that 2 million. We don't have that no more. That shit gone. We reconnect that. We got to get that back going on both ends. Khaled had the guts to come do it. And it was some presidents here that had the guts to give it to him. We need that communication to open back up. And it can work, but we missing that, man. We missing that. So I think it begins with politics. It begins with the people that know better to get to know each other. The people that know better on both ends don't know each other. And I want to change that. That's the goal of Black Think Tank in terms of bridging that gap. I want the people on this end that know better, and the people on that. I got people here, man, got 10,000 acres of land. I got chiefs here that would give land to anybody that come with an idea, but they don't know nobody over there. And so this is the part where we connect that bridge and we leave no excuses on the table. It's just a matter of who you know. You know, y'all say that in that capitalism. It's about who you know. But come on, man, we got it here. Africa is your base. People arguing, arguing for reparations mean you can't even claim you from Africa no more, man. Or like, you know, it's just this whole thing, we indigenous Americans. I'm not mad. We was there before Columbus. But let's not be fooled. Let's build bases, man. Let's build bases in Africa no matter what you believe. You Islam, whatever you are, man. We need to build bases in Africa. Everybody else is but us. We the only race not building bases in Africa. Every race in the world building bases in Africa but us. And they will mess with us. They don't hate us. They just don't see us.
Sure, we don't see ourselves. You know what I mean? How could they see us? You know what I mean? But I agree.
Now, brother, you mentioned that in Africa there's no federal government. Now, when you were saying federal government, are you speaking as individual nations like you're in Ghana? There's no actual federal government in Ghana?
Yeah, because Ghana. So Ghana, when I talk federal government, each country had their own federal government. You know, federal could be country. You can cover a whole, like the United States is a country. So you can cover your as a federal government. What I meant is it don't have to be termed. I don't even like using federal government. I'm careful with saying that because I don't like the federal government. But
right.
Federal meaning that you can hold people that's in office accountable. A lot of places in Africa can't hold their officials accountable. So somebody, man, they could take a loan. Man, they took a COVID loan for 80 million. So reportedly they took 30 million off the top and just stole it. But nobody can go arrest them. You know, and so it's Black Americans on the
right.
And we the ones who can see that. So many people on the ground in poverty, they don't buy a local newspaper. But we do. That's what I meant by the fear of us coming here. Ain't just the white people in the U.S. Embassy telling them, hey, man, don't mess with them Black Americans. It's them because we can hold them accountable. And because we were still on the ground. So they work against us too, bro. This is not just this ain't just a white man don't want us here and Black people scared to come. Man, the Ghana government is governments that's scared of us too. Because we still are for the people no matter where we go. We naturally love our people for the most part, most of us.
Now, you mentioned the importance of Africa being the base.
Yeah.
Now, why specifically Africa? Why not, being that we have a large population who built North America, or we have a large population who built South America, even the largest population in South America? Why not the Caribbean? Why is it important that Africa becomes our base?
Beautiful, beautiful question. Because there's nowhere that's untapped, undeveloped like Africa with more natural resources that's still untapped. The wealth is in Africa. Yeah, you can go to Belize and start a new life and build a base, but ain't no natural resources in Belize. The natural resources in the most undeveloped land where we can own the culture. We can build cities, man. Like where I'm at right now, what's in my background, I'm the first person to build in a project called the Cebu Pan-African Village Project. It's a 5,000 acre project. The most places you name right now, you can't go nowhere and get 5,000 acres. And then I told you, I got chiefs that got 10,000 acres over here, 7,000 acres over here. It's the most untapped land at a good price. So you want a good price. You don't want to go to Dominican Republic or Cuba. I like Cuba. Like it's other places that's cool, but Africa is very important because it's the land mass with the natural resource wealth, with the people that look like us. The governments look like us. They look just like us, man. Like imagine everywhere I go, I never seen a white police officer in Ghana. There's no government official that's white. There's no firefighter that's white. Is nobody nowhere, immigration, nowhere, in no public office is a fucking white man working there. No banks is a white man.
That sounds like a beautiful sight, man.
Healing process. That's a beautiful, untapped healing process for us to see that. See that, to get off the airplane, and when you look at all the fucking pictures of the president and the MPs, they all black. Now I ain't saying they perfect. I'm saying they know the all the history, but it's a starting point. To me, it's important to have that starting point where the prices are still cheap for right now, and it's untapped resources. It's wealth. Everybody's rushing to Africa but us. Nobody's rushing to Belize. Nobody's rushing to the Dominican Republic. Nobody's rushing to Brazil. Everybody's coming to Africa for a reason. It's nowhere, there's no more room for development like it is in Africa. We can create our cities in Africa and still do it within the next 5 years. But 5 or 10 years go by, it's going to be too late. That's why it's a sense of urgency too. We can't wait. 10 years from now, it'd be too late. You're going to be a customer in Africa. By the Chinese or whoever, because they came. Not because of racism, but because they came. In terms of that aspect of it, of having the guts to make it, if you want to make that move. It's nowhere else in the world that's untapped like Africa. And that's just no matter what race you are. And so it's the move. It is the move. Moving to Africa is the move of the world. Like I get BBC News International. I get CNN International. I get all the international news. Al Jazeera International. And so to see that, everybody's rushing to Africa. Everybody's talking about Africa. Africa is going to feed the world 5 years from now. Everybody depends on Africa. This is the base of the world in general, but it's our home for those who kind of, some people don't want to believe that, but it is what it is. But just in terms of us healing and figuring it out and building our basis is, to me, my opinion, is no better place to do it than Africa with people that look like us, man, that's in control. And it's a good starting point. It's better than working with the mayor of Chicago or the mayor of fucking Gary, Indiana. Like, I like this starting point. I can figure it out with my people. I'd rather figure out with my people than to try to figure out with white man over there who ain't been right since they left the cave.
Say that again. I ain't gonna try to take up all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
brother Zadiki.
Yeah.
Okay. So in what you're saying, the people, when they recognize who they are here and there and communicate together, all we're really doing is bringing forward what we've always been doing, because we explored every part of the planet. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So we went out, but I mean it's sort of like what happened here in North America. The Southerners were supposed to go up north and get something, and then bring that information back down south so it could replenish and we could, you know what I mean, make that connection. Because, you know what I mean, but now we left, we over here, but we not reaching back to do that. So that communication is important. But what you've done is not just spoke the communication, but you built the building. You built the foundation on the foundation at the real ground zero, you know what I'm saying? And said, hey, listen, this is what we got to do. So in that, how can we be part of the think tank from over here who do we have to get in touch with that? And I'm not saying us, I'm saying not here on here. We know. But for those who don't know, and they want to know, and they're listening to this, and they're saying, well, wait a minute, it's a think tank. You know, I want to be part of that. How can I just take what my intellectual property and what I'm doing and apply it to theirs so that it can reverberate back here? Who do we get in touch with outside of yourself? What else do we need to do? Well, how can we apply these things?
Well, right now it is just me.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
But and I'm open, but it's also, you know, the internet is weird. You know, there's a lot of weirdos on the internet too. So it's like I'm very careful. People just throw you all over the place, you know, in terms of distractions. But yeah, they can just communicate with me on social media, man. I'm always open. I answer a lot of emails. I get questions on transition to Ghana. So I do that work myself right now. Again, I didn't even have my grand opening is next Sunday, August 14th. I didn't have a grand opening yet. It's just that I showed the process. I had so many people coming just to see the process. Like, and so it was during construction the whole time. Like, even behind me, I still have a few construction left, you know, getting ready for this grand opening. So I'm not even open yet. The goal is to have workers in here full time. It's kind of under like a non-profit act, but they'll be paid and they'll be well off, you know, compared to the salaries here. So I had that information available soon, but I'm real protective of it. I don't want to be too open. So I like the word of mouth. I like platforms like this. I like how people connect, like through word of mouth right now. Because it's just a lot of work to be done, and you can't be spread it too wide right now. And so when people want to tap in, man, it's simple, man. They can email me. I'll leave all the information on the platform before it's over, or like with Knowledge and with Jonathan, and we go from there. But right now, it just been real with, like, I've been keeping it tight with people who's been watching the process.
Right.
And it's still been a nice crowd of people wanting to be like recruiting people. This is built on attraction. It's built for attracting like-minded people. I don't want to convince people to mess with me. Right. I want people to be encouraged or they ready for it, because this is a time frame. You gotta realize, you talk about
brother, we froze.
Black man, right? I'm from West Africa. Elmina Dungeon was the first dungeon built. And so when they built that dungeon, the church was the first white Jesus. When white Jesus first came, it's right 15 minutes from me. This is the work I'm trying to undo. You know what I'm saying? I'm like you said, it's ground zero. So I'm working with the people on the ground, because the people on the ground, they here. Where I'm at, 500 Black people from America bought land in this project. 500 people, more than 500 people bought land. It's like 513 people bought plots in a Cebu. 17 people building now. It's about 5 people living on the land now. I was first, but now it's about 5 people. And so the work is so extreme, and like it can be overwhelming a bit in terms of trying to help people, but I'm trying to keep it organic so that way it stays impactful, man. We can get lost and you get to debating about all this other stuff that don't matter. They want to argue what came first, Christianity or Islam. I'm not into all, like, I don't have enough time for that, man. I'm trying to free people. So, you know, I'm very careful of what I dive into, man. And so I'm very protective as well. And there's people around me that's very protective of me and making sure I stay focused and just build the platforms and the basis for our people to come. This is like an underground railroad. Like when people go on these tours and stuff and then they end up coming and see me, it's love. I don't want nothing from them. I don't need nothing from them. And so they love that, because our people need that healing too. They need that trust that I just love you. I love you, man. Like, that's it. Like, and so I want to build that, and that has to stay organic. I don't want to recruit like that. I do post it. I show the process because of those reasons. But in terms of how I deal with people, everything is organic. The ideas, the guts, and people got to meet me halfway. I'm pressing people. I want to make people accountable. You just not going to sit on your couch and fucking talk to me for 4 hours, and then you go back and work, man. You ain't got no idea what you want to do. No, you're going to be ready. You ain't going to waste my time. Like, meet me halfway, and I meet you there. But I'm real careful with my time. I'm protective of my time as well.
Dope.
Yes, brother. You mentioned the slave dungeon.
Yeah.
And you mentioned being right near the slave dungeon, about 15 minutes. in America right now, there's a large contingency of our people who feel that they are indigenous to
Yeah.
North America,
Yeah.
and that that they weren't a part of the Mayafa that took
Yeah.
place, that they were already here, and that the largest population of us did not come from the Mayafa. Now, with that being said, you're over there on the ground. What stories do you hear from the African side of that story dealing with the Mayafa?
Well, it's only very few, man. And when I say very few, I'm talking about hundreds of people. You know, we're talking about a country. So country is 30 million people in Ghana. But like, you know, it's thousands of people that know that story. I'm not underestimating that number. It's people that live across from the slave dungeon, never been in it. They don't even know what happened there. That's how colonized mentally they are. So again, it's us that come over that kind of retell the story. Or like, and it's a chiefs that know. And they know, man, like the chiefs is powerful because in the culture of the chiefs and the different things, like they got Safo Henny in these different positions in the chieftaincy. They know the stories. They supposed to pass down the stories. The priests, they pass down. I'm talking about the priests of the original religion, not the indigenous religion, not the culture of Christianity, no priests like that.
Right,
But they know the stories. And they be sad, man. When they see us, man, you know, it's crazy. I went to the North one time and one dude was like, man, you know, they didn't take the weak. They took the best of us. And that's why we weak here. Because they took the best. Y'all the best of us. You know, they took our best sharecroppers. They took our best farmers, our best scientists, the people that was inventing shit. They didn't take the weak people. They took the best people. And then you talk about prisoners of war. So it's like they had wars here. And so sometimes they were selling off the prisoners. And so you hear these different type of stories. They know the stories on the ground when you talk to the few. But most of the people ground don't know the story. And in terms of the people of the States, man, that's like the most self-hatred shit ever, man. Like, you know, some of it's right, but they dilute the conversation with that, man. And it's lost, man. It's like, it's still that same thing that they just running away from being African, you know. And some parts, yes, we was there 1,000 years before Columbus, but don't be a fool. Like, you know, Mali was coming over there. They was going back and forth. And so it's like, come on, man. Don't tell no stupid ass story where you like, oh, we indigenous, that's it. We got people over here, man. We got 5%ers here that be, you know, they talk here, that, man, but they be taking straight losses over here, man. But, you know, and it's love for them. Like, I love them. They my friends. But it's like, we got to be careful with that story because we're diluting another story and we diluting our culture. And we're losing sight of the main big picture. And, you know, it's starting a little civil war as well. Like you're saying, it's another distraction. Indigenous versus, you got them debating and ass on pay-per-view and shit. Like, what the hell is going on over there, man? Like, it's getting weird, man. And it's like, we're losing a big picture. While they over here moving and building bases, we're debating on pay-per-view about if we indigenous or are we African? Or which came first between Islam and Christianity. And it's like, we're losing, man. Third quarter, we down 14 points, and we talk about, you know, indigenous. Of course, we indigenous. We indigenous everywhere around the planet. Is that an argument? What is the argument? No. Right. We at China, everywhere. We the indigenous. Like the end. Like now what? What are you doing about it? Right. Are you gonna do a January 6th and take your shit back? Like, what are you doing about it? What you gonna do about it then? You indigenous now. What's the argument? We indigenous every country around the world. Every single country around the world we indigenous to. Now what's the argument? Right. So I really, man, my bad on the lack of it. I just try to stay away from it, man. It's you know, I don't mind talking about it, but it's just, yeah, man. I be disappointed because it be some smart brothers wasting a lot of time. And they love that hype. They get high off the idea of just being watched and being liked and being followed. And it's disappointing because the people that know better should do better. And the people that, you know, we need people that know better just to do more, man. And that's the end, man. Like, at the end of the day, we just need people that know better. It ain't about the people that don't know better. They'll come later. They'll follow. It's about the people that know better, man. We need them people to do more. It's always been a few. Ain't no way in the world there's a whole bunch of people on the same page. No, yeah, about 20 cool motherfuckers and they did something. You know, it's like everybody else went along. You know, we just need people. We need cool people to be cool. We need dope people to be dope right now, though, in real time. And so, you know, I have no argument in that, man. I hear it. They be on me about it a little bit. Tyreek and all them. They say little sneak dish shit here and there, but it ain't, you know, I know what they want. As soon as they get a little something, they get exactly what they want. They get all that money back to white man anyway. So, you know, it's a difference. It's, you know, we here to own the culture. We don't supply them with shit. We don't get the money back to them. It's dumb.
Right. And Knowledge Born, you call them conscious video vixens, right?
Exactly.
You're saying, looking for it.
We got about 9 minutes left. 9 minutes, so just want to be mindful of the time. You know, our brother, he get hyped up, but then he forget what time it is over there. You see what I'm saying? I know he said he owned his time, but I'm mindful of his time. You see what I'm saying? So we got
right.
You know,
all good. We can do it.
Last couple of questions. You know what I'm saying? And you know, let our fam know he always welcome to come back here anytime, every time, all the time. You see what I'm saying? So
absolutely. I'm gonna jump in and say this. I got music that I need over there in Africa. You go get the music. I need them to listen to what I'm saying so that I can get over there and really do what I need to do with the word. You know, the word from the creator and the ancestor that came through me coming over there. Because just like with Fela, you know what I'm saying? Fela came to America. He went back to Africa and said, yo, hold up. This is what we should be doing, and affected in a positive way, in a proper way, the entire continent. You know what I mean? Which then trickled over here up to us. You know what I mean? And just kept that energy, that currency flowing. You know what I mean? Such and such. So in that same regard, I have things that I'm saying and that my crew is saying that needs to be said over there. So my last closing thing is, you finna get all our music, God. You know what I'm saying? All I ask is, please share it with the people and whatever I can do, you know what I mean? Let us know, you know what I mean? Because they're going to tell you, listen, we need them to talk about this. All right, look, we're going to talk about that too. You know what I mean? We are the reporters, you know what I'm saying? And we doing it in God's time, on track, on beat, with the rhythm, to music, which is the language of the universe. So, you know what I'm saying? We're going to do our part. I don't have all the information, you know what I'm saying? But the information I got, I give. And I just, you know what I mean? We're going to do that communication. And I'm a communications major. So I'll come over there and talk.
You got to have all the information. You got information that we don't have on this end. And we may have some you don't have. That's what it's about, though. It's the transfer of both. And we got the music, man. We got the music here. The godfather of hip-hop here is Reggie Rockstone. He actually was in New York, and he brought hip-hop back here in the early 90s. And he's the godfather. Friend. This is my friend. I'm gonna see him this weekend. Actually, I'm going to Accra, the capital, and so it's no problem, bro. We'll get it going, man.
Yes,
we'll get it going.
Indeed. I real quick. I have one last question for you. Your father, he gave us the names. He gave us the dates. You know, a large part of his legacy was introducing us and detailing what the boule was to us. You understand what I'm saying? We talk about don't pay attention to YouTube. I recently seen something on YouTube that was dealing with the boule. So I looked on it, and the introduction basically was saying that they was doing the work, continuing the work of your father. Now after that, they went on to attack Marcus Garvey, claiming that he was a member of the boule. I'm not sure if you've seen this on the internet or not, but he went on to explain how Marcus Garvey and used a book that was written by a white Jewish woman. You know what I mean? Strange Bedfellows, which I'm familiar with. I'm actually familiar with that book. You know what I mean? And that book was a terrible connection, even in that book itself. However, the question basically is, this man claims that Marcus Garvey was part of the boule. Now, I know all of the things that your father said about Marcus Garvey in reverence and the attack of the government on Marcus Garvey. So to hear someone say that is to say that in your father's extensive research into the boule, somehow he missed Marcus Garvey in his what would you say to someone who believes some foolishness like that, or to the person who would make something like that?
Bro, you'd be surprised. I get that question like once a month, twice a month. People on the ground. People came visit me on, like, they be in tour groups like, yo, man, like, it's this dude. So I started getting it about maybe like 7 months ago. And actually, it's a dude that's a cheaper development. He's from Cincinnati. And he the first one to show me a clip of the video in the beginning where he's like giving love to my dad.
Right.
But then, like, the dude was just so intense because he's like, man, Marcus Garvey Boulay, man. I say, what the fuck are you talking about? Because it missed me. I think he had like what is it, like 3 parts, 4 parts or something?
I mean, it might be up to like 6 or 7 by now.
I didn't even watch it like that. I just saw the beginning. The beginning. I just ain't want to see it once he started saying that. And so that's what I meant by the irresponsibility of information, man. And that's the danger of today's society is like, we got more information, but weaker. We weak, man, with all this information. But also, yeah, I heard it. I don't believe it. Another subject though is the Boule is here. Man, Greeks are deep here now. They're moving here. They're not Pan-Africanists. They're like they're setting up shop, man. The Qs, the AKAs, the Deltas, the Zetas, they're here, man. They've been around me. Sometimes they come around not as a frat or a sorority. They don't come in a group like that, but they kind of know me too. So they like, oh, that's Cokie Jr. But it's like they're here to set up shop, man. They're building chapters here. Q have a chapter here, and I dissed them so bad. I'm like, how the fuck you in Africa talking about you're Greek? And it's.
I'm an African. I don't speak Greek.
They respect me a lot because they say, Steve, man, it's about brotherhood. And I'm like, nah, bro, you got Africans talking about they Greek. What the fuck is this shit, man? And the Greeks stole it from us. Like, why they can't be Africans? Like, Indeed. And you got chapters here. They just passed their second chapter, the Qs. Just passed this, and these sucker dudes y'all see, man, on YouTube. Again, they be representing culture. They be on CNN and Fox News and Good Morning America. It's the most embarrassing thing ever, man, because the narrative ain't really told right because they get in the platforms. And that's what's scary about the Greeks. They connected. They get the platforms to speak on transition to Africa. And you got a statue here of the boy calling him the godfather of Pan-Africanism. And so, and the Alpha, that statue. And really, he had a couple Pan-African conferences overseas, but he didn't. He waited till he was exiled almost. Like he got taken in the late 80s of his life. He spent his last 5 years there because Kwame Nkrumah gave him 5 acres, which was cool. He ended right, but he spent like 60. I didn't forgive him for 60 years before that. So they call him the godfather of Pan-Africanism, donated by the Phi Alpha group. See, that's controlling the narrative, man. And the importance of being on the ground. We in war. And so it's like, it's a matter of just being here and being on the ground and being able to tell that narrative. And they're here to tell that narrative that Africans should be Greeks, that the beauty of Greeks and being Greek. And it's like, it's disgusting. But I be on them though, man. I embarrass them. I just don't really, I don't deal with them on social media either because you got to pick your battles. And I'm trying to focus on this think tank. You get weak too. They are what they are, but they here.
Much respect to your Umi, the Queen Mother. She put a post up there. So much respect, and it is an honor. Thank you for having born this God right here as goddess, and your work that you put in there that even got him where it at to further off the legacy. Thank you very much, Queen Mother.
Bless her. Hey, Mom. Like, hey, that's from everything, man. She dope, man. Talk about Africa, man. It's like Africa was Mom. Dad was politics, but Mom was Africa, man. It was right. She was tough, man. She wasn't no soft cookie. She knew what she knew, man. So it was cool. That was a cool upbringing, man. And I'm grateful for her. I'm grateful. And anything I could do to make her proud, man, I'm always happy to see her smile.
Still rocking to this day with us. Still rocking to this day with us. This is family legacy. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is not no stuff we be messing around with. That's family. You see what I'm saying? We all family. You see the family here. You know what I mean? So one day, I beseeched Umi. I was like, I begged her, for a few minutes. She was like, nah, Junior got it. But one day we're gonna get y'all together, you know what I'm saying? Most high willing, we get us together and curate the story properly. It's a story that's never been told. That the world needs to hear before it be some skinny little Asian dude talking about he's Steve Cokie Jr. in the biopic some damn way. You understand what I'm saying? Like you know how the games go.
Man.
You know how the games go. You see what I'm saying? So if we don't have our narrative, properly addressed, it's gonna get hijacked and whatever washed, Arab wash, white wash, Asian wash, whatever, Indonesian wash. You see what I'm saying? All of that, or in blackface. You see what I'm saying? It'd be some bourgeoisie Negro who overzealous and want to act like they're coming out with something to push another narrative. You see what I'm saying? Like all that all together, you know. So my last thing is the reinstitution of the spirit of the Bogart. You see what I'm saying? All of this soft shit, you see what I'm saying, been out here, you know, for too long. All this marshmallow stuff, the Bogart, and reconnecting and reestablishing real relationships with roots in that same kind of spirit. So I'll pass it to you for your final remarks, you know what I'm saying, to the fam, and then let folks know how to reach you and get in contact with you if need be.
For sure, man. Now again, man, appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all taking time out, talk to me, man. It's always love, man, reaching out to the people. Again, I don't even do interviews that often, but you know, knowledge, you, Jonathan, you the brother, man. So you already know what it is. I'm grateful. You can reach out to me through social media. Is the name Steve Coakley, Instagram at Steve Coakley. My email is stevecoakleyjr@gmail.com. I always respond to my emails. If people reach out to me, I'm always responding, even if it take an extra day or two. And I'm definitely gonna keep people posted on the Black Think Tank website. It won't show as much information because, again, I'm protecting the energy, but it will show, you know, the basics, and definitely stay in contact through that way. But definitely, I would love to, man, even say, man, let's do this like once a month just to build that communication. You know, we talk about communication, but let's kind of work on that. Even if I had somebody else with me here or two other people, let's open up that network of us communicating back and forth at least once a month, man. We give our time to so much other things. We can give once a month, an hour to each other, man, and build off that. And even not just even the conversation, but like he said with the music, it's empowering each other, man. You know, let's empower each other. Let's inspire each other. So let's do this, man. We could do 1 hour for the culture, man, and do it for us. Let's make sure we do once a month, man. I commit to that for you guys, man, and whatever it takes, man, for whatever I can do to help.
Well, Steph, you already know.
You know, my show open for Hard Correspondent Podcast is always open for the Coakleys to come through.
Che, man, you say how you do, Che. You say how you do. You see what I'm saying? Bro, so you gonna come back to us, you know what I'm saying, as a collective. He's sliding in.
Man. You know, he said, you know, my solo album will be coming out next week. It's only at the top. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hey,
Flash.
Every Ujima, I'm on there. It ain't Wednesdays. It's Ujima. We here on Ujima. I'm on there 9-ish. You know what I'm saying? We there, but it's on through the Knowledge Radio.
Make sure I get the info, man, so I can see that. I get the info. I definitely want to stay in tune, man. I need people to keep me in tune on what's going on over there as well, man. I'll be out the loop. I've been so focused, but now I need to tap back in, man, and see what's going on with the people on the ground. I never want to forget my people in the streets. That's what matters, man. That's where I come from in terms of them, my people. Y'all my people. Like, it matters.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Much blessed. Respect.
Love.
Appreciate you for your time, bro.
I want to see if Baba Siddiqui has something before you left the body here. No, you're busy multitasking over there.
There you go.
Oh, greetings, brother. I'm here. No, man, just an excellent show. For the people listening and the people who will be listening, man. Support this platform. Support what Brother Steve is doing over on the continent. And first and foremost, man, let's stay in creation, manifestation, and application mode and do our best to relieve ourselves from the distractions.
Get your morning moringa because it'll help you do that.
Yes.
Definitely.
All right, family. We up out of here.
Salute.
Peace, man. Love.
Peace of the God on the devil.
Yeah. Now we gonna tell them. That in front. We tell them like this, yo. I'm an African. I'm an African. I'm an African. I'm an African. Yeah, y'all like that? No more. This man's mind is open. I'm an African. I'm an African. I'm an African. I'm a. Let's get back to the gritty.
And that motive is best developed by recognizing the common enemy.